How are you doing? I'm in a lot of pain. Very sad. Very sad. And I wish I could talk to you about a happy topic. But maybe my irony will bring about some chuckles, even though there's nothing funny about genocide and slavery. So we're talking, some just hilarious topics of genocide and slavery, right? Some real ball busters. So last night we talked about that slavery and genocide is everyone's responsibility to stop. Agreed? Agreed. Is there anything comical about slavery or genocide or mass neglect of human race? No, not at all. But we all have a responsibility to it. Why? How do I have a responsibility, you ask me? Okay, just listen. You'll say, but Dana, I'm not a slave owner. But Dana, I didn't push Native Americans off their land. But Dana, I don't force children in sweatshops to do labor. But Dana, I'm not keeping someone sick and in pain for money. It's not me. There's this phrase I learned from Native culture, and it says this: if everyone isn't free, we're not free. Think about it. I'm completely blown away that there was ever been slavery in America. There has been. But blown away because the Bible speaks so firmly against slavery. Can you imagine people in America having slaves and reading in Exodus about Pharaoh? You don't think they got it? Sad, isn't it? So yes, it's everybody's responsibility. But I don't think people really think about it. They'll say, Dana, I made this amazing film or painting or album about slavery and genocide. I even won awards for it. Golden Globes, Oscars, Grammys. And you think what you did, helped. Okay, what'd you do with the money that you made from the Oscars, the Grammys, the ticket sales of the film, the music? Do you ever think about giving it back to the cause of what you made the film about? I mean, if you make a film about slavery, and it's mind-blowing, do any of those actors or directors or the, production studios, do they take any of that money and give just a tiny bit of it towards minority scholarships? Or what did I say? Reciprocity or reparations for slavery? If you make a film about Hitler's abuse and genocide of Jews, anyone he really just didn't like, do you give any of that money back to education against anti-Semitism? I know I'm getting under your feathers, right? yes, making art about hard topics is needed, especially when there's still slavery and genocide in our world. But it goes farther than that. You need to do political action, and you need to give your time and money towards it. And you'll say, oh, but I made artwork, I made a film about slavery or genocide. Did you give any of your paycheck towards stopping it? Or did you just look like a cool person by doing it? I don't know. So we're gonna go there. So slavery and genocide are everyone's responsibility. Slavery and genocide could look different in different ways. America right now does not want to say what they did to Native Americans was genocide, but it was. But they won't call it. But it is. It was. They exterminated many of us. Continue to. Why won't they call it what it was? I don't know. But if you're making, indigenous films right now, doing those things, are you giving any of that money back to the cause of the people that really are suffering or suffering? So what does the UN do? Does the UN govern or help with slavery or genocide? Do they stop it? They should. They should. They should govern that. Should billionaires be interested in stopping slavery and genocide? It would be under their best interest, yeah. It would be. We'll get to why. Who do billionaires answer to besides themselves? Somebody. Everybody answers to somebody. Celebrities. This goes back to, did you make art or film or music about slavery or genocide or make money from it? What'd you do with that money, celebrities? Did you keep it, or did you donate some of the profits towards stopping these things? I was only in one film, and I got paid $400 for it. And I used it towards a mission trip. I don't know if you're like that, but I think, we can do a lot of things, but our money and our actions do a lot of things. World leaders. Is it their responsibility to stop slavery and genocide in the world? It is. It is. It goes along with the UN. People of faith. Is it your responsibility to stop slavery and genocide? Yes. It says that in the Bible. Yes. Because slavery and genocide is wicked, evil, oppressive, disgusting, and disturbing. So yes, Christians should be on the front runners. Anyone of faith should be in the front running of stopping slavery and genocide. Artists, making art is great about slavery and genocide, but do you donate any of your proceeds or portions from that art to the people that have suffered the genocide, or the dispersed people, or the people you made the artwork about, or you just feel real cool and special? Both are needed. I'm not insulting. Political figures. We're going to get back why this is so important. Political figures. Why it's so important they are stern against genocide and slavery. I'm going to tell you why here in a minute. And then corporations. My stomach's making funny noises. Corporations. Why are corporations hugely at fault for slavery and genocide? And why should they have to give reciprocity and reparations towards this? We talked about this. Have you made money from a form of slavery or genocide? How can you stop slavery in our world? What makes our world go around? Money, politics, and slavery and genocide is everyone's responsibility. And what is our only hope for people that have suffered slavery and genocide? Freedom. That is the only hope. And the only way to heal from the wounds of slavery and genocide is compassion. So you're like, Dana, why are you so dark and deep? Well, people don't think a lot about this, but they should. Who's living today? I am have a heartbeat. You're living. Say there is genocide or slavery going around in our world, in our country today. What are your children going to ask you what you did about it? What are these political figures and celebrities going to look like after the genocide and slavery is over? They're going to look like terrible people. Pretty terrible people. Because they didn't do anything about it, right? So what we're seeing are political leaders at the time of genocide and slavery are disliked horribly, historically later. Am I right? Why do we love Abraham Lincoln? Why do we love Abraham Lincoln? He started the process of freeing the slaves. We love him, right? We love him. Why do we not like Andrew Jackson? People in Tennessee still like him. His name's on places. Why do we not like him? Because he exterminated thousands and thousands of indigenous native people. Same reason we don't like, custard. Your political, this timestamp, we're in a timestamp right now. What will your legacy be? Be a legacy of slavery and genocide? Will your name be attached to that? I know that's really deep for a lot of you people. And you'll be like, hey, I don't even know who owned this land before I lived here. I don't know, I bought this t-shirt the other day and I didn't even see, where it was made. Do you remember when they found Nike, they were making, soccer balls and sweatshops? Do you remember this? Things like that are still happening today. And more Republican than others. So, what's your legacy gonna be? What is your reciprocity, your reparations? Maybe you give some of your land back to somebody. Maybe you make some phone calls to a congressman. Maybe you protest. Maybe you stop buying from certain stores. Maybe you protest a political leader or a billionaire. Maybe you have to protest one of these. Maybe you have to make phone calls. Maybe these people are in the wrong and you have to protest these people. It's a real thing. But what happens when people are freed from slavery and genocide? What happens? Whoever did it, whoever freed them, is loved immensely. And we can start healing. Because no one that's in active slavery or genocide or abuse can heal. What you can do is have compassion, and that know that freedom is the only way. And having compassion It's just like having compassion for yourself. Would you want slavery, genocide, or abuse to happen to you? No. So, anyhow, have you prayed lately about your faith? And does your faith believe in slavery or genocide or exploitation?